After what happened at the end of the volume for third year arc, let's talk about one topic that will definitely become a conflict in the next volume, which is how everyone will react after they know about Ayanokoji saving Hiyori. For starters, let's try to figure out how this incident will spread to the whole school, because from a little hint that we got at the end of the volume, it seems like everyone in the school will eventually learn about this incident. As far as we know, the only people who know about Ayanokoji's action of saving Hiyori are just Morishita, Sanada, Yoshida, and Ichinose, who accidentally overheard Yoshida told Hashimoto about it. Sanada might not be the type to gossip, and Morishita doesn't have any friends to share stories with, but Yoshida is definitely going to become the leaker. It's not like Yoshida isn't trustworthy, but if somehow Shiraishi asked him about what happened to Ayanokoji at the end of the island, Yoshida would have folded instantly and told her everything she wanted. If Shiraishi know about it, she will tell Nishikawa, and if Nishikawa know, the whole school will eventually learn about it. It's indeed crazy how their channeling works, but that's just how it is. It's almost guaranteed that everyone will know that Ayanokoji chose to save Hiyori, so Ayanokoji's next action will be how to answer their question. From here on, Ayanokoji has two ways to clarify his action. First, he could mix the truth and the lie and say that he saved Hiyori so Shinohara could get expelled. After all, if Hiyori got expelled, all of his plans to expel someone from Horikita's class will go to waste. However, this answer is not really satisfying, because from the eyes of his classmates, letting Hiyori get expelled is way better compared to a random student like Shinohara. If that answer wouldn't work, then Ayanokoji will have no other way to dodge the question, and will be forced to tell the truth just like what he told Yoshida. An honest answer from Ayanokoji will definitely leave the class shocked, and even if he chooses to say nothing, the people who followed him will naturally hold a doubt. In this kind of scenario, Hashimoto will definitely try to smooth things up, but since Hashimoto was labeled a traitor before, defending a traitor will definitely become a really hard job. Hashimoto's reaction to Ayanokoji will be really interesting to see, because since he was the one who strongly promoted Ayanokoji to transfer classes, Ayanokoji's betrayal will surely open an old wound. However, since he already invested a lot in Ayanokoji, Hashimoto will still try to defend him. Hashimoto will surely have his own doubt, but at his current position, he really cannot do anything other than support Ayanokoji. Believe it or not, Ayanokoji is already acknowledged as a capable leader to the point a single mistake wouldn't really bother their judgment on him. They will be doubting and questioning him, but they know full well that they need a leader more than anything, so they wouldn't really make a big deal about Ayanokoji saving Hiyori. It will resurface once in a while, but as long as Ayanokoji doesn't make more mistakes, he should be fine for the time being. If there is someone who will complain right to his face, Kito is probably the only one who will confront him. Kito hates Sakayanagi because she just does whatever she wants, so if Ayanokoji started doing the same, their clash would definitely happen sooner or later. Kito could betray Ayanokoji, but let's just wait and see what Kito would do in the future. Next we have the most boring class, and yet it has the potential to deliver the most interesting reaction. Almost everyone in the class knew about Ichinose's feelings for Ayanokoji, so if the news about Ayanokoji and Hiyori dating reaches their ears, the effect will be way harder compared to when Ayanokoji started dating Kei. Of course Shibata would be happy, but the rest of the class will be anxious for sure, especially for the girls. After all their effort to spread the rumor about Ichinose liking Ayanokoji making a move on another girl is like spitting in their face, telling them that Ichinose is far from good for him. It's easy to imagine all kinds of strange glances will be directed toward Ichinose in the next volume, and Ryuin will definitely love fanning it, but for the girls in Ichinose's class, they will need to comfort her again for the second time. Amikura's reaction is definitely the most interesting to see, because as the best friend of Ichinose, she will probably confront Ayanokoji about his choice. Of course Ayanokoji is free to date whoever he wants, but sometimes people can be such a bitch and make unreasonable accusations. However, Ichinose will definitely assure all of her friends that everything is alright, and there is no need for them to hate speech Ayanokoji or to worrying about her. Depending on the situation, she will probably congratulate both Ayanokoji and Hiyori, but based on the last scene of the newest volume, we already see what exactly is going on in her mind. She will put on a brave smile, but on the inside, she has already prepared 100 possible ways to annihilate someone from the school. If you think the face that Ichinose showed us in the last volume is already dreadful enough, maybe we should prepare ourselves for more disturbing pictures of Ichinose. Hiyori's condition in her class will definitely interesting to see, because if they know that their enemy's girlfriend is someone from their class, their reaction won't be as calm as Ichinose's class. Ryuen's class might be the one that will get affected the most by this sudden change, because from experience, the potential traitor inside the class wouldn't have an easy life as long as Ryuen in there. However, since Ryuen 100% supports Hiyori's love life, we could say that there is no one who will dare to harm her inside the class. On the contrary, Ishizaki will congratulate her with happiness tears in his eyes, while Albert will just stand in there, nodding approval. They were originally used Hiyori to persuade Ayanokoji to transfer to their class. But even after Ayanokoji transferred not to their class, Ishizaki was still showing his support toward Hiyori, so it's clear that he will be at his peak of happiness when he hears the news. However, the other member wouldn't take the news that lightly. Kaneda, for example, will look up to the sky and wonder if he had any chance to begin with, while Ibuki on the other side will approach Hiyori and ask whether she got blackmailed or not. Katsuragi will also approach her, but I don't really know what Katsuragi will do in this kind of situation other than observe and gather more clues. The characters that we know wouldn't really make it an issue since they mostly obey what Ryuen said, but for the others who we have no clue about, this might be a good chance to raise some turmoil inside Ryuen's class. Some of them will voice their concern of the possibility of Ayanokoji using Hiyori as his spy, but if Ryuen could convince them that Hiyori could also be used as a spy, their protest will naturally subside, leaving Hiyori with all kinds of internal conflict. Hiyori definitely understands that her relationship with Ayanokoji wouldn't be accepted easily, but sadly she will have no choice if Ryuen already decides on something. As for Horikita's class, their reaction actually doesn't mean anything since they are not really involved in the whole drama. Kei will definitely become gloomier for a few days, but she will eventually focus more on why Ayanokoji chose Hiyori instead of Ichinose. Kei obviously knew that Ayanokoji and Hiyori had some kind of weird vibe, but it would still confuse her why he didn't pick Ichinose. As for the others, I think they wouldn't give it much attention since it has nothing to do with them. Some girls will have a mild heartbreak, but their top priority should be to comfort Ika, who just lost his girlfriend. However, I do think Ika would have quite a reaction if he heard the news. If only Ayanokoji let Hiyori get expelled, Shinohara would still stay in school, so his hatred toward Ayanokoji would be doubled from before. Iki's confrontation with Ayanokoji will definitely happen in the next volume, and while he is losing his girlfriend, Ika will definitely be furious to see Ayanokoji found a new love above his suffering. Needless to say, a few other members of Horikita's class will definitely look at Ayanokoji with a disgusting look after Shinohara's expulsion, because even though he already betrayed the class, expelling his former classmates is the new low that they cannot ignore anymore. Needless to say, instead of Ayanokoji saving Hiyori, the majority of Horikita's class will put more attention on Shinohara's expulsion. Because since Horikita no longer has protection points and Ayanokoji is still out there, there is no guarantee how long they could maintain their peaceful life as Class A. Hiyori will be just a gossip in their relaxing time, but deep inside, they know the actual battle has finally started.